So if Julio Jones didn't slip, the Atlanta Falcons were going to win Super Bowl 52, right? If Julio Jones didn't slip, that's what Falcons fans told me all offseason. If he didn't slip, well, guess what? He didn't slip tonight. And the Falcons, they even got an extra down. 18-12. Eagles win again. The Falcons are our bitch. Philly 500 is here. I am Adrian Fedke. Oh, Fletcher Cox. Deep penetration on that final drive. Are you kidding me with that D-line? Are you kidding me? What a win.
Ryan forever. Choking again. Eagles. What a game. What a game in basically a very sloppy game, but it came down to the opposite side of the field. Julio Jones again, this time out of bounds. Out of bounds. Matt Ryan didn't deliver again. Sorry. It's the truth.
This game.
Not only that, Adrian. No, I'm sorry.
Sorry, I'm excited.
It comes down to one simple thing for Atlanta. You had all those possessions inside the 10-yard line and could not score touchdowns. Okay, you could not score touchdowns. You talk about the offensive coordinator. Why on 4th and goal at the 1-yard line you run a sweep to the left side like that? Didn't make any sense. They couldn't score in the red zone, and that's a big problem for them. Now I give them credit. Good game. You came, you fought, and I thought their defensive line did a really good job getting pressure on Foles. And I thought both sides of the line played really good, but the Eagles defense stepped up when they had to.
Yeah. You know, I talked to David yesterday, obviously, on the show. Really, really nice guy. And I told him, you got to fire Sark. And until once you fire Sark, then you can maybe get back to being a Super Bowl contender. But when you have this guy calling plays, he called basically the same exact play he called last year that obviously Julio Jones slipped. The play that if he didn't slip on, they would have won the Super Bowl, huh? Well, he calls the same goddamn play, basically. Yeah. The same thing. The same thing. Awful. And you brought up the 4th down call. Tommy Grugier-Hill fights off 2 blocks. I'm like, all right, you want to run up the gut? Fine. Try it. And then they run it out wide, which is even dumber.
Yeah. I mean, I was saying this early on. I've seen this too many times in football. When you don't score in the red zone, you don't get touchdowns, it comes back and haunts you, especially on the road. On the road, you can't do that. And they did it. And, if they score 2 touchdowns on those 2 possessions, this game is over. We don't win this game. And that hurt them. That hurt them a lot. I had a coronary. I had a heart attack tonight. There's no doubt about it. What a crazy ending. But we got to win. We got to win that really, in some ways, we shouldn't have had. But we did it. We pulled it out.
This game was an exact replica of last year's divisional playoff game. Falcons start off hot. They can't score in the red zone. Steve Sarkisian remains a dingbat. Early candidate for dingbat of the week. An early one. It might leak over to next week. I don't know if we'll be able to get.
We gotta wait for Jason Garrett to play.
True. We gotta wait for a week to play out. True. But going back to my point, so they score 6 points early on. They get the field goals. Eagles offense kind of stuck in a quagmire early on. They try to get their footing. It's 6-3 Falcons at the half. So basically the same game, but the only difference is you don't get Torrey Smith for miracle reception. But in this game, you got the Philly special too. And yes, and we'll get into that in a second. But that was the play that jump-started the Eagles' offense in the second half because, again, they were stuck. Nobody was making a play. Zach Ertz kind of had a disappointing night. Dallas Goedert didn't really do much. Nelson Aguilar, okay, you made some plays, but that was the play. And then after that play, that's when they began to run the ball down Atlanta's throat. So let's get to that play. What a play, dude. They did it again.
They did it again, and Aguilar actually threw an even better pass. It was like the Tom Brady catch, but Foles caught it. I said in my live stream, I said the same thing. I said, this is going to change. This is going to jumpstart. This is going to get the team going. That combined with running north-south with a jive, that was the key. And when they did that, Ajayi looks good. Ajayi looks good, man. Looks really good.
You know, I was like, the first half happened, and they were really distributing the carries. And Ajayi wasn't getting the ball much. Now, I wasn't pissed because I knew how hot and humid it was in Philadelphia tonight. So, yeah, you kind of want to maintain the carries. And I was like, all right, I'm cool with this. I'm cool with what they did in the first half. I said I was cool with it. I told myself, like, I'm cool with this as long as they unleash him in the second half.
Yes.
They did.
That was my exact feeling.
The O-line dominated in the second half.
They dominated, but let me tell you, like a lot of people in my thing were like, Foles stinks, it's Foles' fault. And it comes down to what me and you talked about Foles before. You have to protect him. If Foles is hit and pressured early, he gets out of rhythm and he starts to just throw bad passes. He feels uncomfortable, and it's hard to get him back in that rhythm. And it's what happened to him tonight. He was getting a lot of pressure, especially up the middle. He was getting pressured. And then he started that whole thing where he likes to float back into the right. You know, but he was able to make some passes that he needed. And when it counted, Foles showed up again. Foles showed up when it counted. Jay Ajayi showed up when it counted. And that's what you get out of Nick Foles. So, hey, a win is a win.
His stats look bad, but he was fine. He was fine. And let me explain that. 19 to 34, 117 yards. I get it. 3.4 average on those pass attempts. Like, it looked ugly out there. But let's remember the injuries here. Alshon Jeffrey was out. You had nothing on the outside, and you were going up against Desmond Trufant and Robert Alford. Zach Ertz did not show up tonight. He was the key to the game. Like, seriously. Deion Jones is a great coverage linebacker. I get that. But Zach Ertz was dropping the ball. Dallas Goedert, you had that play, the juggling reception. That could have lost the Eagles the game right there. Almost did. A couple plays almost lost the Eagles the game. You had that play. And then I guess I'll just get into it right now. Trey Sullivan, get him off the team. I don't care how hard he worked to make this team. Get him off because he tried to start a fight, and it led to a turnover, and it almost led to a loss. You're getting cut tomorrow. Get your bags. Get out of here because you're
I agree.
DeAndre is taking your place.
I agree. You can't have that. You cannot have that in that situation. Everybody knows when that ball bounces, you get the hell away from it. Get the hell away from it. And he did that. That pissed me off so bad. Then we get the interception, Rasul Douglas. And then we come back. Foles makes after we got that interception, I thought Foles was starting to get into a little rhythm. He throws a nice pass to Goddard, who goes up and causes an interception.
Yes.
And it's like, are you kidding me? But you felt like Foles was starting to get going. And then they come back and we have that nice drive and we score the game-winning touchdown. But there's a lot of ways we could have lost this game tonight. We tried in some ways to give it away. But, without Wentz, we got to weather the storm. And that's what we just did tonight. I mean, it's a big win. Big win.
Steve Sarkisian was just like, here, you want the win? Here you go. Here it is. He was like, here's a silver platter. Now, they did kind of earn it at the end there because, my God, like Julio Jones was doing all he could in between the 20s there at the end.
Incredible.
Oh, my God. 3rd and 17. You had Fletcher Cox and that deep penetration. Him, Chris Long, Michael Bennett, Haloti Ngata was making plays at defensive line. Oh, my God. It's going to be like this all season long.
That defensive line is nasty.
Oh.
They are nasty, man.
Oh.
I'm going to say one thing. I think that last call, I think the refs, I got to talk about these refs. This was horrible officiating.
Yes.
Horrible.
Yes.
Horrible officiating. And then to call a penalty like that with 1 second on the clock.
Yeah.
Was ridiculous.
Yeah, you had 5 downs, Atlanta. I don't want to hear any excuses anymore.
I mean, I'm sorry. If they would have scored that game, how could I have felt that we didn't get chipped off? I mean, that was ridiculous. They tried to give that game away. They were horrible. And I'm going to say one more thing. I got to get off my chest. Every time we started to get in a rhythm, they had an injury with a cramp or a little injury. You notice every time, even after the Philly special, they have an injury to the sideline. It has to stop the play for 2-3 minutes.
They need to hire a new water boy, clearly.
Yeah.
A water boy. A water boy.
Take some potassium.
Yeah. Eat some bananas or something.
Yeah,
for real.
Take some pickle juice. My God. How many?
Yes. All right, let's. I want to get back to the Philly special again because that was such a troll job of the Patriots. That was the same play that the Patriots ran. The same play, but Nick caught it.
But he caught it in stride with both.
Yeah, he galloped down the sideline.
That was awesome. That was Big Balls Doug, right?
Yeah,
Big Balls Doug making the call to get the team going. That's what I like about Doug Peterson. Because he has a feel that this was the play this team needed to jumpstart. And after that, everything, the whole momentum or feel of the game changed at that point. That's what I thought.
Yeah. I mean, Eagles, clearly, they have the most intestinal fortitude in the league. You have the big balls of Doug Peterson and the big dick of Nick.
That thing was swinging and he rode down the sideline.
Yeah. Wing it. Get out of my way.
He tripped over at the end.
Oh, my God. But, man, all right, what can we get into now? Ron Darby, I want to get into him because Julio Jones, he got his. Hold on. Let me see if I can pull up stat box. I haven't looked at box scores yet except for the Nick Foles thing.
Ronald Darby, in my opinion, while you look it up,
yeah,
I thought he was fantastic.
Yeah, dude, like Julio Jones got his 10 for 169, but it's like all I asked for Darby was compete. Make some plays, make some critical plays, like a third down pass breakup, and I think he did it twice. And the end zone at the end, was that Sidney Jones? I'm trying to remember. Was it Sidney Jones?
I think that was. I think it was Sidney Jones, but it could have been. I don't think it was Mills again.
Oh, man. I think it was Jones. I gotta watch.
I thought Jones played pretty good. I really liked how he came up and made a couple tackles.
That tackle
behind the line of scrimmage. You know. I really like the way Sidney Jones played. I really like the thing. Okay, remember the pass? It was underthrown by Matt Ryan, but you can see the extra acceleration that Darby did not have after his injury last year. He has. His recovery speed is fantastic, dude. I believe we have to resign him. I do. You know, I was
great. Like for like what Julio Jones is how great he is. What Darby did, the plays that he made, fantastic, man. Man. All right, I want to pull up the stats too because I'm curious on Matt Ryan, 21-43, 251 yards. That was all defensive line, man. That defensive line, it was 4 sacks and all, but they were causing major disruption. I obviously it was Fletcher Cox causing the most disruption of them all.
The guy's so good.
Yeah, dude. Just let me say it again. Fletcher Cox had some deep penetration, just very, very deep. Oh, and not only the deep penetration, but the athletic penetration. The play he made on the boundary, if you remember the screenplay to Devontae Freeman, and the rest of the Eagles converged for the tackle. That play was awesome. So he had a sack. Chris Long, a sack and a half. Jordan Hicks was flying around like a missile. He had a sack and a half, so 4 sacks in all. But a lot of pressures and tackle for losses from this defense.
Yeah. And I want to say this too. I really like when they put like Bennett and those defensive ends on passing downs inside. I mean, that is just so hard to defend when you have Chris Long on the outside, Bennett on the inside. You know what I mean? Barnett, I thought they had he lined up one time, okay, in the neutral zone. One time he just flinched and they called him offsides. I thought was a horrible, horrible call.
Yeah.
But that defensive line is the key to this defense. And let me tell you one other thing. Jordan Hicks was fantastic tonight.
Yes.
I thought Jordan Hicks, it's such a big difference having Jordan Hicks back. Next week we get Nigel Bradham back. Those guys stay healthy, man. Our linebackers are set.
Yes, absolutely. And going back to the penetration. I think the penetration might actually be deeper than Dr. Tickler when he gives the exams.
Yeah, those
those fingers are long, but they're getting deep into the backfield.
You're in mid-intestines with Fletcher Cox.
Yeah,
Fletcher Cox was a monster tonight, man.
Oh,
he was really good. I want to talk, one quick thing I have to say on the Atlanta Falcons behalf. That Julio Jones catch was a catch.
It was. I'll admit it. Yep, catch.
That was
sucks because he cost 50 yards on my fantasy team because he's on my team. By the way, I'm kicking the water boy's ass. I have Ajayi and Jones.
Oh yeah, you're good, dude.
But bye weeks are gonna kill me. Bye weeks are gonna kill me when I'm 8-0 by week 9, bitch.
Ertz killed me tonight.
Yeah, really I have Ertz on a team. Yep.
But you're not gonna get him every week.
Yep. All
right, Ertz, that'll probably be his only bad game. That I haven't seen Ertz play that bad in a long time.
He was pretty bad. To be honest,
yeah.
But,
he was bad. He was
okay,
bad.
They got away with it.
He
was the leading receptions, the leading yards guy too, which is funny. 5 for 48, but this wasn't a Zach Ertz game.
Yeah, early on, I thought I didn't like when they kept trying to run to the outside. They were using Sproles a lot, who looked a little slow, but I think Sproles just has to get his feet under him. He didn't play at all in preseason, and I think it took him a while. I think Sproles started to come out of it in the second half. Started to look a little bit better. Made some key penalty on the face mask.
That third down, fighting his ass off for that third down.
Yeah. So I think Sproles will be better as he gets his legs and feet under him. But when they started going north and south, and with the jive, then that offensive line started to kick ass in the fourth quarter. They were destroying that defensive line, and that was the key, man. That line was the key of the whole game. And if they didn't allow so much pressure early on Foles, Foles would have had a better night statistically. He did miss. There was one pass. There was a bomb on Wallace was streaking down the left side. If he throws that further, Wallace is going to be wide open. He had to slow up. You remember the play I'm talking about?
Yep, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yep. I think he came back to him late, and it was just and it was underthrown.
Yeah.
So there was that play. All right, so let me just run down box scores and stuff and some yardage and statistics. All right, we talked about Nick Foles, Jay leading carrier for the Birds, so he gets 15 for 62, 27 carries in all for 113 yards, 4.2 average. So obviously, I don't have the numbers in the second half, but obviously those numbers were huge in the second half, and obviously Ajayi got the bulk of the load. So and you can see the average he had. Clement 5 for 26, so 5.2 average for him. Aguilar had that nice, so they motioned him in the backfield, and he turned the corner for 16 yards. 5 for 10 for Sproles, and then going down to the receiving here. Zach Ertz 5 for 48, like I said, leading the Eagles in receiving yards. Nelson Aguilar 8 for 33. Sproles 4 for 22. Nick Foles 4th in the column, 1 for 15 on the Philly special 2, the troll job of Tom Brady and the Patriots. Carter had a reception for 10 and got it 1 for 4. So there's that. Your leading tackler was Jordan Hicks with 7. Bills, McLeod, Darby each with 6. That's probably from just tackling Julio Jones. And then on the other side, they run Tevin Coleman. He had the most carries tonight for Atlanta. If you remember last year in the divisional round, he had 79 yards on 10 carries. So they tried to ride him, but he got limited to 19 yards on those 9 totes. That's only 2.1 yards per carry. Freeman, 6 for 36. And then you go down to receiving. We obviously know Julio Jones, 10 for 169. But besides him, no one else really stepped up. And what that says is, well, the other cornerbacks played really well, didn't they? So Sidney Jones had himself a pretty good game. Sanu beat him once that I remember, but not much else.
Once late in the fourth quarter, yeah.
And Jalen Mills, the double move, bad. Yeah. That was bad because that was like a touchdown. Should have been a touchdown, honestly.
Yeah.
But great performance by the secondary. Even though Julio got his great secondary play, and then defensive line obviously in the backfield.
The defensive line, especially, late in that fourth quarter, I mean, they just got so much pressure on Matt Ryan, dude. He wasn't uncomfortable. I mean, you think he had 5 plays in the red zone, inside the 10 to win the game, and every play they were at him. Every play they were at him. Then they gave him extra plays. Didn't they have a sack, too, that got called on a flag? Yeah, Barnett gets a sack.
Yes, Fletcher Cox should have had 2 sacks. Yeah, Barnett did, and that's something that he did at Tennessee a lot, actually. A lot of offsides penalties.
Yeah,
does that.
Yeah.
And
I didn't think the first one was fair. I thought he just flinched. I don't think he crossed. But the second one, he lined up. He was past the
yeah,
line.
he was just
in
lined up
neutral zone.
over.
On the
Yep.
neutral zone, yeah. So, man, these are the games that you have. These are the tight games, man. These games are the games that matter at the end when the playoff seedings come and stuff. You have a conference win against a team who's a playoff team. You have that matchup now. It's a big win, man. It's a big first game for the Eagles.
This is huge. This is huge because I was talking 3-1. I was like, I thought they were going to split, either lose to Atlanta or lose to Tennessee, right? And we'll see how Tennessee looks. I mean, they got a new head coach in Mike Vrabel, but these next 2 weeks, Tampa Bay and Indianapolis, they should be 3-0. And I'm looking I'm looking at this situation now. Maybe you won't agree with me here, but what if they started Carson Wentz in October?
Look, if he's not 100%, then you have to. I think I would probably start Carson. Well, let's see. Who's the first game in
week 3, like if he's ready by week 3, I kind of still want him to play that game because like the Colts is like the ultimate game to come back to if you're Carson.
Right. Well, here's my thing. I will not play Carson. I wanted Carson to play week 1 for this because it was the Falcons. But now that we beat the Falcons and we're playing a Jameis Winston-less Tampa Bay Buccaneers, apparently that turf is horrendous there. I don't know, but I've heard this. I don't want Carson playing in Tampa. I don't want him playing in Tampa. So the earliest I bring him back is week 3. I like week 3. Like you said, it's the Colts. It's at home. You can be he probably could get away with being a little sloppy, a little rusty, and still beat the Colts. So me, personally, I target week 3. But who's their first game in October? I don't know offhand.
Yeah, let me pull up the schedule. Hold on.
Because the schedule is going to get tougher.
Yeah, I know like the first 4, and then I actually, you know what? Play them against the Colts because your first game in October is against Minnesota, and I don't know if I want to play Minnesota your first game back.
I don't want to play Minnesota first game back. I want him being 2 games in, starting it. If he plays against the Colts, then he's going to have 2 full games. He's going to have 8 quarters. He's going to probably start to find his rhythm, become an old self, go in there, and he's going to tear up the Minnesota Vikings. He's going to tear them up. So,
and this is the point where I'm sure some people might say, well, there was a report out today that he's going to be out a couple more weeks or whatever.
That's week 3.
Listen, there's been reports saying that he's like ready right now. There's reports saying it's a couple weeks from now. You had Ian Rappaport saying he was going to be IR before the season. So there's so much inaccuracy and so much bullshit and just so much that you know what? I'm done. I'm done trying to predicting. I'm done. And I said I wouldn't predict. And then I predicted anyway. And I was wrong. So I'm done.
I'm going to predict because I'm a dingbat. I have to predict. I can't help myself. I think about these things with my free time. I'm a dingbat. What can I say? But I'm telling you, right now, I think week 3. I think week 3 kind of makes sense, though, because he's going to have they're going to have a mini bye right now. Then you're going to play not next week, and you're going to get a whole nother week. I mean, that's like 2.5 weeks more, man. That's plenty of time to be ready, I think. If they're saying the reports are true a couple more weeks, it would be week 3 makes sense.
I mean, it might even play out like a preseason game because they might beat up on the Colts so bad that he might not even play the 4th quarter.
Right.
Just like another dress rehearsal. But for Carson,
I would not want to. I don't want to start him against Minnesota his first game back. I would rather have a tune-up against the Colts. Let him feel confident. Go in. Maybe Tennessee is a little harder. With Carson there, it's a whole different story. You win that game, then he's kind of getting into rhythm, and you're going to play Minnesota in a huge game. And I think it'd be the perfect time for him.
We've not really gotten into tonight. I forgot, and I kind of forgot. We did a little bit. We did a little bit, but let's get back to it. Because I don't know if anyone thinks like Nick Foles is bad. I don't think he was bad tonight. I think it was this. Atlanta's defense is sneaky, really, really good. Like they're really good. They're really fast, and you got really good secondary there. You had guys missing on the outside. Did you really think Mike Wallace and Shelton Gibson? I know Shelton Gibson had a good preseason, but he's the competition level. It's ramping up now. It's ramped up. You got Robert Alford and Desmond Trufant now. Shelton Gibbs, Mike Wallace. Did we really think these guys were going to do anything? Nelson Aguilar was like okay, but like they were really conservative with it. Like really kept them underneath. And then when Zach Ertz plays the way he did tonight, like what did you want from Nick Foles? He had a good throw to Goddard. That throw to Goddard was pinpoint, and he dropped it.
But I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be honest. In my opinion, Foles struggled early in this game because he had too much pressure coming up the middle. He wasn't comfortable. He was remember the fumble he had? He fumbled the perfect snap because his eyes were looking up because he's worried about the pressure that's coming.
I remember that.
And he was worried about the pressure. He was not comfortable. He could not set up. And they were doing a good job, picking those short passes. That's why everything he was throwing was so fast, because they were trying to get Foles into an early rhythm, but the pressure was getting to him. And I think with Foles, if you don't get him into a rhythm early, he will struggle. But he's clutch enough that when the time matters in the fourth quarter, he finds a way. He's mentally strong up here, but he doesn't like pressure. And the Eagles' offensive line played better in the fourth quarter, and Foles made it count at the end. But when he has pressure, especially early, he's not that good a lot of times. That's when you get the bad Foles. And I think that the pressure up the middle, Jason Peters was fantastic, kicked ass, unbelievable. I thought Lane was fine.
Yeah, he was outstanding.
But they were getting pressure up the middle, and he wasn't comfortable. And I think that's why his numbers look like they did. But I don't really hold that against Foles. I just think that's part of who Foles is. He needs protection.
Yeah. Well, he's what he is. He's a top 20 quarterback. But But like you got to protect him. Like I know you can say that for a lot of quarterbacks, but I made that video before, and I'm sure you guys watched it, where I talked about he needs more protection than any quarterback I've ever seen. And I made the comparison to Kurt Warner. What did you think about that comparison? Did you like that? Like Kurt Warner, a streaky guy like that, when he gets protection, he can be pinpoint.
Yeah, I agreed with everything. The only one thing I would say about that whole Kurt Warner thing, you were right on. But he claims that when he was with the Giants, he had a bad shoulder. I don't know if it was true or not. But Kurt Warner throws a much prettier pass, though. I mean, like I mean, accuracy.
It's kind of unfair to Kurt Warner to compare him like Nick Foles to him, but like that's the only thing. Like, who do you compare Nick Foles to? Because he's not exactly a common story here.
No, Foles has like. See, I look at Foles. Foles is like if Foles has the clutch of great quarterbacks. Like he's got ice in his veins, like great quarterbacks. He doesn't necessarily have like the arm strength and some of the athletic ability, but if you give him time, let him set his feet, because you see Foles throw balls where it looks like he has no arm strength, but then when he can set his feet and his mechanics are good, he can throw the ball anywhere. I think Foles is very mentally strong, but I think that he needs time. And yes, a lot of quarterbacks need time, but I think what makes Foles different than a lot of other ones is that he's clutch. I think he's clutch. And even like as bad as he could play the worst game ever, but when it comes to when it matters, how many times have we seen, even when he was with Chip Kelly, where the second year, not the 27-2, but the other year, like remember the Redskin game where he took a beating, he wasn't playing that good, but like when it matters, Foles can pull it out. That's what I always thought of Foles. That's why I always liked him. Yeah. And mentally tough.
It's funny because I was so confident that they were going to score. The thing that I was worried about, I was like, oh man. The thing that I was thinking, I was like, oh man, it's a shame that there's not another 5 minutes on this clock, because the offensive line was completely dominating. Not only were they going to score a touchdown on that drive, they were going to score a touchdown on their next drive. And there wasn't 5 more minutes remaining. They only had 2 minutes left, but obviously defense comes up big, gets the goal line stand, and that's something I talked about during the offseason too. Last year, not one time did an opposing offense drive down the field and score a go-ahead touchdown or field goal in the final 2 minutes of any game. Happened again.
That's something. Look, man, and that's what championships do. I mean, champions pull out those kind of games. You're not going to score 30 points on everybody. You're not going to have every easy game. You're going to have games like this. You have to win these kind of games as a champion, especially at home. That's what they did. They're champions.
Yeah, they're the champs.
And I swear, I ain't kidding. I almost have a heart attack. Like, I still might have one. I don't know. That game had me nervous. That was like flashback to that divisional playoff game.
It did. Yes. Yeah.
That was
you know what, man? It felt good. It felt good to feel the butterflies again. Because when you get the butterflies combined with the jubilation, it's a great feeling.
Yeah.
Great feeling.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Two things. I had $150 on this game. I also had a $50 parlay. I took under.
Easy money. Easy money.
Yeah, they were getting a point today. They were +1. I'm like, how could they? I'm betting this game. But that, and the other thing I was thinking was, dude, I really don't want to watch football this Sunday with the Eagles losing. Like, I want to sit back and like enjoy it.
Yeah.
With a win, being 1-0. You know what I mean?
Right now, the Eagles are the number 1 seed in the NFC.
They're 1-0.
Best team in the NFL. They're 1-0.
Yeah. I mean, it's huge. It's huge, man. And that banner they raised was so beautiful.
Yes.
That was so beautiful. Man, I loved it.
Beautiful moment, dude. And, like, just the way Dawkins was out there, and Laurie with the trophy. And I'll tell you what. I had another intro in mind, but I didn't use it because sometimes the intro changes. The script sometimes changes. And I was going to say something about the weather tonight. And then I was going to talk about, the road to Atlanta, and then how lightning was going to strike twice because the Eagles are going to win the Super Bowl again.
Oh, yeah. I agree.
Like, that's how my mind works, man. I can just keep coming with these ideas and these intros.
I do it, man. Those are beautiful. They're beautiful. Oh, let me tell you one other beautiful thing, just off topic real quick. David in Atlanta is now going to have to sing the Eagles fight song on a video.
Was that a bet? Did you make a bet?
That was a bet. Yes, I did. And
I'll tell you what. Here's what I'm going to do. Because he wants to meet me tomorrow. I'll make him do it then.
Make him do it, and
I'm just gonna record
and make him wear Eagles gear if he has it. And
I'll just bring my Eagles gear.
And I am going to wear it. Yes, and make.
So I'm supposed to. I'm gonna hang out
and he has to dance.
And he has to dance. Do the Philly special, baby. Do the Philly special.
I am going to post it on my channel so everybody can see.
Yo, all right. So I'm supposed to hang out with EDP tomorrow, and then
my man EDP. I love that guy.
Yeah,
that's fun.
We're gonna have. So have you ever heard of a Philly taco, Philly 500?
I have, yes.
So that's what we're gonna try.
Cheesesteak wrapped in a pizza, right?
What's that?
Cheesesteak wrapped in a pizza, right?
There you go.
Yes.
We're going out. We're gonna try to go to Jim's tomorrow. Get cheesesteak.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm not getting a Philly taco. My belly is too small to inhale a Philly taco, but I will have a cheesesteak.
I like the roast pork sandwiches there with the broccoli raw. Those are my favorite.
Ooh, yeah, the roasted pork, huh?
I love that's like my favorite sandwich in the world.
Yeah, a little broccoli rabe on there, a couple long hots.
Yeah, I love it. It's good, man.
All right, I'm trying to think what else hasn't been said.
Besides that,
I'll tell you what, Nate Perry, if they're going to play him a lot more, like, if they get into running downs, they got to take him off the field because he was getting like overwhelmed at times.
Yeah,
and
that was
touchdown by Levine.
And we talked about it earlier. The one thing about him is he gets thrown around way too much.
Yes.
But he did almost make an incredible interception. I got to give him that.
Yep.
That would have been huge.
Yeah.
But
Rasul Douglas made a nice play.
Rasul Douglas made a nice play. It was a bad pass by Matt Ryan. Like, that was a choke job. You can't throw that ball right there.
Dude, like, man, they should have been up, I want to say 17-3 at halftime.
Yeah, absolutely. Dude, they had 4th and 1. They run to the left. I don't know why. If you're going to go for it there, I'm going a quarterback sneak or I'm running my big giant fullback that I had.
Unbelievable.
And then he run a sweep, and I'm like, once he handed off and he started going, I'm like, you ain't getting it. You ain't gonna get that ball. There ain't no way. Then they come back down. They have to settle for another field goal. Then at one point, then they turn over the ball. I mean, they had so many chances inside and they could only. I think they only came away, they came away with a touchdown late. But really, I mean, they couldn't. You need to score points. When you don't score touchdowns on the road, it's going to come back and haunt you, and it did.
Yep, did. And Steve Sarkisian, Falcons Fury and David Atlanta. The point that they made was that Kyle Shanahan's first season wasn't too hot, and while heading into his second season, they were going to improve as an offense. But I also argued back. I was like, well, Kyle Shanahan is clearly not Steve Sarkisian. The formations he uses, the unpredictability in his play calling. And the other thing here, you bought into the media's bullshit. You bought it. Because the media, what did you think they were going to do? Oh, Steve Sarkisian heads into his second season. He's going to continue to suck. That's not the headline you're going to see in Atlanta. It's going to be bright, shiny rainbows. That's what you're going to get, and you're going to get fed bullshit.
Man, you ain't kidding. Man. I still don't understand that last play, man. I mean, that you're only going to have one option there. Like, the Eagles knew that was coming, too.
Oh, my God. They called the same freaking play, and I knew it was coming.
We all knew it was coming. I think right before the play, where's Julio? He's going to Julio. He's going to jump up. And that's exactly what they did. They thought they would say, hey, let's just switch sides, and somehow the Eagles won't notice number 11. I mean, come on. It was ridiculous. This time he caught it just out of bounds. Whew. I tell you, my biggest fear in that play was I knew when he was coming down, I already knew he was out of bounds. I was looking for flags.
Yeah.
I'm like, where's the flag? Because it was that bad, dude. The flag, it was like 25, 26 flags in that game. And then they called it on the fourth down play with 1 second on the clock. How could you do that?
I'm like, yeah, they're going to get an extra down. They're still not going to score. Like, I was so confident. I knew Atlanta was not going to score. Not going to score. By the way, I'm going to try and find E-Rock tweet because I got to find what he said. And it's a great tweet. He described the Eagles' defense to a T. And I hope I can find it because I know he tweeted a lot tonight. So let's see if I can scroll down the timeline here. But the perfect description of this defense, and I'm going back. I'm going to keep talking so I don't have any silence. Well, all right, here we go. That wasn't bend but don't break defense. That was bend but bitch, you ain't getting in the end zone defense.
It's beautiful. That's beautiful. Well said.
Love that.
I agree.
I love that.
Yeah. The
perfect.
1-0. 1-0. I love it, man. It was a big win for us. Big win. Big win because we had to work for it. It wasn't perfect. We weren't perfect. We made a lot of mistakes. We tried to give that ball away a few times. And you know what? In the end, we pulled it out. And This is one of those games that late in the year, we're going to look and say, oh, man, Atlanta is in this position, but we got the win. We beat them. And that could totally give us a higher seeding depending on where Atlanta finishes. It's huge. I don't want to play Atlanta in the playoffs in Atlanta. That's a hard place to play.
No, I don't.
Play them in Philly.
No, it's a different ballgame down there. It's a different ballgame.
Totally.
And the other thing I want to say, too, like, I know it was sloppy tonight. You're going to get sloppy pretty much the first month of the season. The way the NFL is now and the way that they limit practices. I mean, like, we talked about how bad Philadelphia looked during the preseason. Well, Atlanta went 0-4. They looked terrible in the preseason as well. But you're going to see a lot of this during that first month. I mean, teams trying to get back into the swing of things. You don't have as much practice time, not as much time to really – and then the hitting, like, they don't really hit anymore. They don't hit the way that they used to. So just a different ball game now. And, we can sit here and complain about the sloppiness, but every team's going to be sloppy. So we're really nitpicking here.
Yeah. Agree. I totally agree with you. Totally agree.
There you go.
And look, not only that, but the only guy I have to say though is Jason Peters. How does he not play? He gets hurt. He comes back his first game and he dominates. He dominates. It was unbelievable. Jason Peters
He's going to play forever. He's just going to play until he's 56 years old. He's going to last longer than Tom Brady.
Because the pressure on Foles wasn't coming from him or Lane. It was coming up the middle. And he was fantastic. I mean, Sproles, I tell you, Sproles looked like in the second half in that fourth quarter, he started to get his footing, But we had so many guys that didn't play at all in preseason. They are going to be sloppy. When Wentz comes back, he's going to be sloppy at first. Alshon Jeffrey, going to be sloppy. That's the way it kind of goes. We have to weather the storm, like you said.
And the other thing about this Eagles team, too, is that they are a second-half team. Doug Peterson is a mad scientist. He knows what's going on. He makes adjustments each and every time. They're second-half team. They always look better in the second half.
Yeah, and you're so right about that because, when you play, especially first, second game of the year, especially the first game where you don't have film of the year of what team does, they install new things. You don't really know what they're going to do. So those first 15, 20 plays, you don't know what they're doing. They kind of can run, up and down. But when you go to halftime and you start making the adjustments, especially in the first game, it's about the adjustments in the second half. And I kept saying that at halftime on my stream. I said, the second half, I trust Doug to make the adjustments at halftime. And it's going to come out, he's going to look for his tight ends, and he's going to start running a Jai north and south. And that's pretty much what he did, and it worked beautiful.
Yeah. I mean, they outcoached the Falcons. Wasn't even close. You could even make the argument that was the difference in the game, the coaching. Because you had the Philly special call, jump starts. Yeah. Well, actually, that was the Tom Brady's our bitch call because it's the same damn play. And they trolled him, and he caught it, and he galloped, and he looked awesome doing it. Nick Foles.
Did you worry he was going to drop it, though?
He's such an athlete, though, man. He's such an athlete. Dude, that throw by Nelson Aguilar. So he's going to be auctioning for a backup spot next year. When Nick Foles is eventually goes off to where he goes, Nelson Aguilar is going to be the third string.
I think Aguilar is going to have a monster year. I think because I think Aguilar, all the problems he had in the past were mental, and now he feels comfortable in that slot. He just carries himself different, and I think he's going to have a breakout year this year. I really do.
Yeah. All right. That's about it, man. I think we pretty much dissected everything. By the way, I am in chat, and guess what, dude? Like my stalker is back. My stalker is back. I got 18 dislikes. I got a dude with 15 to 20 burner accounts just disliking my videos.
I think it's a girl.
It might be. It might be.
I think somebody's in love with you.
I don't know why they would have be in love with me. Like, are you serious? Like how ugly my beard is right now? Like how overgrown and disgusting this is?
I think they love you. That's what I got right here.
Girl. Do you think it's a girl?
I think it's a girl, dude. I think it's a chick.
Somebody playing a little hard to get, huh?
I think so, dude. I think she's got a crush on you. Look at that. Victory cigar tonight, baby. Victory cigar tonight. I think somebody should just stop giving you dislikes and send you flowers or something. You know what I mean?
Well, I'll tell you what, though. Like, those 18 dislikes, that's like $18 in my pocket.
Yeah.
I mean, like, you get money for a dislike. Like that's engagement. I love it. Like, the Chicago fans were so generous with their 75 dislikes on my Khalil Mack videos. Awesome.
Yeah, I mean, it's only going to help your channel. It's not going to hurt your channel because it's engagement. It's people wanting to react to you, and that only helps you.
Yeah. I mean, let them hate.
But I think
if they ain't hating, you ain't trying. But it could be a girl, someone trying to get my attention.
I'm saying 90% is a chick who's in love with you.
Yeah. All you gotta do is reach out, like shit, and then you walk the plank. We'll see how you look, and then I'll either swipe right or I'll swipe left.
Yeah, swipe left. Yeah. What the hell does that mean?
That's like a Tinder term. That's online dating in 2018 with Philly 500.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I'm so out of that game. I don't even know.
Yeah.
But I know one thing. We are 1-0, and we beat the Falcons.
No, I've got somebody with 20 burner accounts. It's like,
Dude,
dude, that puts Brian Colangelo to shame.
Do you think it's Brian Colangelo? I mean, did you talk trash about him?
Yo, that's who has the crush on me. It's his wife. She came back with a vengeance.
Damn, that's right. Dude, I told you to be nice on him on your video.
Yeah. Oh, well.
Crazy, man. Crazy.
Oh, well. You know what? Because I have a stalker, and she's probably a girl, I ain't cutting this beard all fall. You're going to have to deal with the rough, babe.
That's what she probably likes it, man.
So maybe I should go clean shaven.
Nah, you gotta go find out who this girl is. You gotta find her, who she is.
I don't know if I want to find out, because the fact that you have to use 20 burner accounts, that shows a little bit of a anxiety problem.
Yeah, maybe you're right
Not
about
really
that.
believing in yourself, not really confident in yourself. You got to hide behind 20 burner accounts.
Nah, pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Who knows?
All right, I'm done. I got to write a recap, dude.
Yeah, I got a cigar video.
It's 1:30 on the
video.
East Coast. 1:30 on the East Coast. Yeah. I still got to write a recap.
10:30 here, so yeah, we should cut it.
Yeah, lucky for you. I wish it was 10:30 over here. I wish.
Yeah,
dude, it's 1:30. I'm not going to be able to sleep. I'm going to be up for another hour and a half, and then I'm supposed to sleep. God,
I hear you.
Oh, sleep, flip. Same thing, Atlanta. Sleeping on the Eagles, slipping again, slipping in the standings. That's the only slipping they did tonight.
That's 2 times we beat them in 2018. So it is what it is.
True.
You know.
True. All right. You got final thoughts?
Great game. Great game, great ending. 1-0. And look, I'll take it. Let's get this thing going. Week 2, Tampa. I'm ready to go. Let's focus on them.
All right. I am undecided whether or not I'm going to trim my beard. What I will do, I'll probably cut underneath there. I'll probably do that. You know, if I do get credentialed for a game, I am going to have to shave. So I will have to do that. Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see how this works out. But there it is. All right, that's Philly 500. I'm Adrian Fedke. I'll work on the cheek fur. It'll be a little bit better next time. No, it's not. Get the fuck out of here. I love my cheek fur. I'm going to grow it out like Brian Wilson and Jason Kelsey. And then I'm going to do another speech. Yeah, we're out of here. Take care.
Bye.
Thank you for the dislikes.